Okay guys, so today we are going to build a website for a transport or logistics company, including cost calculator, and all of this using only free resources. But first, let me show you the finished product. So as you can see here, we have a beautiful hero section with a background image with a truck maybe in your premises. If you scroll down the page, you have your tagline about your own services here. You have the cost calculator section right here, and underneath a short about us section as well. So if you click on any of those call to action buttons, they will bring you to the cost calculator, and this is the main feature of this website. So let me show you how this works. So let's say if you wanted to know how much it's going to cost to go from London to Leeds and going by Birmingham, perhaps. Let's calculate this. As you can see, it's going to cost us £222.50 to go from London to Leeds via Birmingham. And we are also going to create another page here, which is a contact page, as you can see, where you can request a custom quote. So you can put your name, email address, collection address, delivery address, and a message, and all your details here, including social media pages. Now again, we are going to go through all the steps one by one, but if for any reasons you don't want to build it yourself, or maybe you need additional features, you can always use our professional services by going to mrweb.tv. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the very first step is to click on the link in the description below where it says Get Hosting Now, and this will bring you to the Hostinger website. So as you can see here, this is a co-branded page that we have with Hostinger. So that means that we have negotiated the best terms possible for our audience. So by using the link in the description below, you'll have access to up to 91% discount, so depending on seasonal offers, of course. And I'm also going to provide you a coupon called Mr. Web Reviews that will give you access to an additional 10% discount. And then from here, all you have to do is either click on this button here, Start Now, scroll down the page, and here you can select which web hosting you want to go for. So let's click on Select. And now from here, you have to select your billing cycle. As you can see, you have 4 different options. So let's say if you selected 1 year, this will give you access to 76% discount. If you selected 2 years, again, 76% discount. And if you selected 4 years on the longest billing cycle, you get a whopping 80% discount. So you're saving altogether $480 altogether. So this is massive discount you can get access to. And I'm going to give you a coupon code for even additional extra savings. So click on Have a Coupon Code, and here enter all in capital letters Mr. Web Reviews, and then click Apply. And there you go. Instead of $480 savings, now you save $488 in total. So incredible savings to be made. And then scroll down the page and then select your payment method and proceed to checkout. And now that you're registered with them, you can go back to the home page and click Login here. And then you can log into your account. So before you can use their services, you have to confirm that this is you. So normally they would have sent you an email confirmation. If you haven't received it, you can always click on Resend Activation Email, then go to your mailbox and click on the link that's inside that email, okay? And then it will bring you back here and then you'll be okay. So once you've clicked on that link in the email, you can refresh your page and that message should disappear normally. Okay, very good. So as you can see, that message is now gone. So the next step is to claim our free domain. So when you build a website, obviously you need a domain name, and this is kindly provided for free as part of your premium shared hosting. So all we have to do now is to click on Claim Domain, and right here you're going to type in the domain name that you'd like to register. So for instance, let's say Mr. Web Bookstore, okay, as an example here, and then you can select your extension. So you have .in for India, .me for parcel account, .com, which is the most popular one, and you can select among a few different options here. So let's go ahead with the .com, for instance, and then after that you check the availability. So click on this. And as you can see, this one, fortunately enough, is available. So all we have to do after this is click Claim Domain and then fill out your details. So you have to select your country. So we're based in Ireland ourselves. And then you select if it's for personal or business use. And then enter your details and then continue. And there you go. As you can see, now you need to confirm that you are the rightful owner of that domain name. So you should have received an email again. Go and open that email in your mailbox, click the link inside that email, and then come back to this page. And now you can see that your domain name is fully registered. So now we can come back to the home page. And the next step is to set up our hosting. As you can see here, premium shared hosting is pending setup. So let's click on this. So from here, click Start Now. You can skip this step altogether. From here, select Create a new website. Now we're going to select our CMS platform, content management system, which is WordPress, select. And from here, make sure that you tick this box here, add WooCommerce, because this is the plugin that we need to create an e-commerce website. And then click continue. We're not going to select any of those templates. Click this link here, skip, I don't need a template. And then you choose the domain name. So this is the one we just registered, or you can link another one. That's really up to you. So let's click select. And one last step before we finish our setup is to select the server location. So as you can see, you can select among all these different options. So select either the one that's the nearest to you or the nearest to your target audience, obviously, you know. So let's say if most of your visitors are coming from America, you can select among two different options. You have USA or Arizona, and then you have North Carolina. So again, East Coast, West Coast, really up to you. Maybe if your customers are based in Europe, you might select one based in Europe. So in our case here, we're based in Ireland, so we might select Lithuania, which is probably the nearest, and then click change, and then finish setup. And there you go, as you can see, well done, you are ready. So basically everything's been taken care of. So we've registered the domain name, we set up our hosting and the SSL certificate, WordPress, and the theme has been installed all together for us in just one click of the mouse. So super easy to use. And now from here you can decide whether you want to go to your WordPress dashboard and start editing your website, or do you want to go back to the hosting and control panel. So let's go back to our control panel. Very good, and as you can see here, your website is running smoothly, no issues were found, which is absolutely perfect. So from here, basically, you have access to everything, your file manager, your database, your WordPress dashboard, etc., etc. So now I'm just going to show you one more thing, which is how to create emails linked to your domain name. So for this, we go to emails, click on this, email accounts, and then click on the account to which you want to create emails for. Very good, and now let's click on this one here, the big plus sign. And from this screen, all you have to do is put the email address that you want to create. So for instance, bookings@taxibookingwebsite.com. It could be info@, maybe accounts@, sales@, or maybe your name@, whichever you want, okay? And then insert a password, and then let's click create. And there you go, as you can see, info@taxibookingwebsite.com was created. Now you can create as many as you want, obviously. So after this, we can go back to our website now, and from here you can either manage your website or edit the website. So if you click on edit website, this will bring you to the WordPress dashboard. So let's click on this together, and welcome to our WordPress dashboard. So the first step is to do a bit of cleaning up, because there's a lot of things here that we don't need by the side. So for this, we go to plugins. We're going to bulk select them all, take this box here, and then deactivate, apply. And let's do the same again, and this time we're going to delete them all. Apply, yes, okay. And there you go. Now we have a clean working environment, and you can even dismiss this message as well. So let's have a quick look at our website. If you hover on top, visit site, right click on it, open in a new tab. So this is basically what our website looks like at the moment. So it's very basic, not at all what we want, very far from the finished product. So what we're going to do now is to install a theme. So for this, we go back to the WordPress dashboard, we go to appearance, and as you can see, by default, it will activate the 2023 theme that comes by default with WordPress. But what we're going to do basically is to install our own theme. So we click on add new. And the one we're going to install is called Astra right here. So if it's not there in the recommended, you can always type Astra in the search box, and it should show up normally first here in the results. So if you hover on top, as you can see, with an install button, click on this, and now we need to activate it. Very good. And now we are going to install the starter template. So starter templates are demo website, ready-made website that we can use. All we have to do is basically tweak them around to make it our own based on our own requirements. So this is going to save us a lot of time, obviously, you know. So what we're going to do now is click get started. Very good. If you scroll down the page, you see this button here, build your website now. So let's click on this. We're going to use Elementor as our page builder. Click on Elementor, and now we can install any of those starter templates. As you can see, some of them are premium, so that means these are paid version. So you have to pay, I think it's $89 or something like this, but we can use a free one altogether, and this is what we're going to do today. So we're just going to use this one here. It's called Outdoor Adventure, so simply click on it. Now click skip and continue. Then you can select your default colors. So let's say if your company is using blue, or maybe Perhaps your branding is using green or orange or any of them. So select the color that matches your company's colors, and then you can select your font as well. So as you can see, by default we have this one here, but you can select another one, you know, if you prefer this one, perhaps this one, or any of them. So let's go with this one for instance. Okay, so let's click continue. Here click submit and build my website, and in just a few seconds it will be fully imported for us and ready to go. And that's it. As you can see, that took 18 seconds altogether to build our website. So now we can click on this button here, exit to dashboard, and let's go back to our website. So this is what it used to look like. So let's refresh our page. And boom, just like that, as you can see, our website has been recreated. Now, clearly, this is not related to logistics or transport, but don't worry about this. We're going to change all the content here, all the pictures to actually reflect the type of business and the type of website that we are building now, okay? So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. And before we start designing our website, we're going to add our cost calculator plugin. So for this, we go to plugins, add new. And this is the one I've picked here. So this one is called Car Route Planner. So we go back here, type in the search box Car Route Planner. And that's the very first one here. So click install, activate, and that's basically it. Now we have everything we need to get started and design our website and basically configure everything. So we can dismiss this message here as well. So let's delete that. So every time you have a message on top, you don't want to see it, you can just click on the message, and that's basically it. It's gone. Okay. So let's have a quick look at our pages now. If you go to pages here, you will see of the home page. So if you hover on top, you can see you have edit, quick edit, trash, view, and edit with Elementor. So on that page, the home page was created with Elementor. So we're going to right click on this and open in a new tab. So welcome to our Elementor page. So if you're not familiar with Elementor, basically on the left hand side here, you have all the different elements that are called widgets, and you can drag and drop them on your page just like this. Okay. And if you look on this side, this is basically a quick preview of what your page looks like. So if you scroll down, as you can see, if you hover on top, you have all these different blue frames all around it. So if you click on one of them, basically you have sections, and each section is made out of different columns. And each column contains different elements. So as you can see, this one is an image, this one is a button, and this one is called an image box. So this is basically how this works. So now we're going to customize this ourselves and make it look like more like a transport company or a courier company or anything related to logistics, basically. Okay, so let's take care of our first section here, which is the hero section. Now, this is the most important section of your website because this is the first thing that people will see when they visit your website. So this has to basically say everything in just a few words. Okay, so the image itself that we're going to use here in the background should convey the whole message about your company. Ideally, take a real picture of maybe your trucks or your loading bay or something like this. And then the heading and subheading here obviously should be well thought out and should be carefully selected as well. So let's take care of our background image. So we click on our section here, as you can see, and then we go to style. This is where the image is. Okay, so we can delete this. And now we're going to replace that with our own image. So I found one online with the loading bay, you know, so upload file. And then I found one online. So this is the one. Okay, so open, insert media. And there you go. As you can see, now we have our image in the background. So we have a background overlay as well. So you can see this is the original image, which is much brighter. As you can see, there's an overlay, a gray overlay on top. So we go to background overlay. You can change this as well, obviously, you know. So we have the color here. Selected was black. We can change the color maybe to blue, or maybe you can change maybe to white, or whatever color you want, you know, whatever you're comfortable with. So let's say we're going to go with the dark blue, perhaps something like this. Okay. And then you can change the opacity. So 0 would be fully clear, and then 1 is completely opaque. So you'd like to be somewhere in the middle, you know, so not too bright, not too dark either. So let's try maybe 0.55 with this image would fit in perfect, you know. And then right here, we're going to change the heading and subheading. So those two are very important again. So the first thing that people might wonder when they get on your website is, where are you based and what service do you provide exactly, you know? So are you a logistics company that transport pallets? Maybe you transporting goods, maybe boxes, or maybe heavy load, or whatever it is. You have to mention this right there so people know exactly if they're in the right place or not. So let's imagine that our company is based in the UK. We cover only the UK and we transport solely pallets. Okay, so let's go ahead with this project. So right here, so instead of a wonderful gift, let's say pallet delivery service. So this is clearly what we do, and right there we're going to change this to something else. So with this one we're going to specify which area, which country we cover. So instead of explore the colorful world, let's put, for instance, covering UK mainland, Wales and Scotland. So anyone that lands on your website, they know exactly what you do. You deliver pallets where? UK mainland, Wales and Scotland. And there you go. So this way everyone will know exactly where you're based, which area you cover and what exactly it is that you do. So as you can see, we have a button here that says learn more, so we can link this to a page maybe. So we'll take care of that later once we have our cost calculator built in as well. So once you've done this, don't forget to click update, basically to save every changes that you make, and then we can move on to the next section now. So let's scroll down the page. Underneath we have a quote here. So this might not be useful to you. You might want to use it. It's really up to you. If you don't want it, all you have to do is just click on this to delete it. Now, if you want to bring it back, if you delete it by mistake, you can go to the history here and go one step backwards, just like this, okay? And now it's back again. So you can change this. So let's say we want to use it, okay? So let's say maybe the owner of the company said something like this, maybe from collection to delivery, we provide the complete solution for all your palletized goods. And then we can put the name. So here we have Adam Sandler, or it could be John Doe or whoever, you know. So let's say John Doe, the owner of the company, said something like this, okay? So this would be a nice place maybe where to emphasize or insert your slogan, maybe a tagline, or maybe your company motto or something like this, you know. And of course you can tweak this around. If you go to style, you can change the color as well, you know, and the typography. So typography, basically this is a fancy word to say font. So you can change the font family, the size as well. So you can make it bigger, maybe smaller, whichever you prefer, you know. So let's make it maybe 26, and you can stylize it as well if you want it to be italic or something like this. Everything can be tweaked around in this section here. Now by the side you can see there's a small image here that represents a quote. It's really up to you if you want it or not. If you don't want it, right click on it and then delete, and basically you still have your text here in the middle, okay? Now let's scroll down the page. Let's take care of this section here. So clearly here it says upcoming events, so this is not really what we want to display here. Maybe you can display some of your services, main services. So instead of upcoming events, you can change this to our services, and then we can tweak this around as well. So let's click on this. So let's change the image first, okay? Let's add two images first. So let's click on this, choose image, you can delete, plus upload, select file. So I found two images online, you can bulk select them all, you know, open. So as you can see, this is the cabin of a truck. So I'm going to insert this one here, and on that side let's insert another one, and let's select the other one here, okay? Let's insert. There you go. Now we have a totally different feel, obviously, you know. Now it looks like a logistics company, and then we can tweak the text here underneath, obviously. So all we have to do is just click on this. So as you can see here, we have two different sections, title and description, which is Everest Camp Trek. You can change this for something else, and then the content here of the paragraph underneath. So let me do this very quickly. So perhaps something like this, you know, maybe you can mention how many trucks you have on the road, and also the size of your warehouse, if you provide storage facilities or something like this, you know. So underneath, as you can see, you have two different buttons here again. So this is really up to you. You can keep them there and link them directly to the cost calculator, or maybe a contact page or something like this. For now, I'm just going to delete them. So I'm just going to right click on them and then delete. Very good. So let's take care of our next section. So basically we're going to use this section here to emphasize the call to action. So what do you want your visitors to do? Do you want them to call you, send you an email, request an inquiry, request a quote, or perhaps go to the cost calculator, which is what we're going to do here, okay? So basically the image in the background also should match up that message, okay? So if you click on our section here, we're going to change the image. So delete this, upload a new one, and I found one online again, you know, so I'm just going to upload it here. So insert. So as you can see, this is basically a busy place, a warehouse. You can see loading pallets and all that. So this is absolutely perfect for this type of situation. And again, we can play around with the background overlay. As you can see, we have black at the moment, but we could select blue, for instance. And again, we have the opacity, so 0 being fully clear and 1 fully opaque. So select one that suits your requirements, so maybe 0.62, okay? And then now we can change our heading here. So if you click on this, instead of explore the world, we could have maybe cost calculator. You can put some description here underneath as well. So perhaps something like this, you know, whatever you want to say here. And then we have our button here. And again, we can't link this now. We have to create our cost calculator page, which we're going to do next. Okay. So basically now that's all for this section. So let's go to the next one. So what we're going to do with this section basically is to use it as an about us section, basically to let your visitors know exactly who you are, maybe a past history, how long you've been in business or something like this, in order to build trust and credibility, you know, something like that. So all you have to do basically is just again to click on any of those sections and change the content to fit your own business model, and then add a few images here. So I'll do that very quickly now. So there you go, perhaps something like this, you know, you can put your company name, a bit of history, maybe about a section here, and then a few images there. So that's basically it. And if you scroll down the page, as you can see, that's it. We've reached the bottom of our page. So that's what's done for the home page. Now let's click update. And now let's take care of our cost calculator so we can link it with all our call to action button. Okay, so we go back to our WordPress dashboard, and now we're going to create a new page. So I have two tabs open. You have this one, and we're going to create a page in a separate tab. Okay, so right click on add new, open in a new tab, and we're going to call this one cost calculator. Okay, very good. So publish, and now we're going to edit with Elementor. Very good. So this is our page created now. Now we go back to our WordPress dashboard, and we will go to settings, car route planner. So let's click on this, and this is where we're going to create our cost calculator form basically. Okay, so we go to advanced mode, and first you select your language. So it should normally be English, but perhaps it's something else, you know, your currency. So let's say we're based in the UK, so this should be Great British Pounds, and we're going to select our unit. Again, we're going to select UK gallon. Okay, very good. Now you're going to select your palette. So this is basically your colors. Okay, so we said we have a blue color, so you can select your accent color here. So I think it was a darker blue, perhaps something like this. Okay, maybe select this one. There you go, very good. And now we can create our form. So basically the form is what's contained inside all the fields, and the result is basically what will display once the field have been calculated. Okay, so just for now we're going to leave this as is. Okay, we're going to change the result page only. So here we're going to select our own country. So we said it's only for the UK. So let's scroll down here, let's select UK. So there it is, United Kingdom. And now we're going to generate the shortcode. So let's click on this, scroll down the page, and there it is. So now we're going to copy this, and we're going to go back to our Elementor page. So let's create a section, one column, and right here we're going to select a shortcode. So in the search box, look for shortcode, drag and drop, and right there you're going to copy the content of that shortcode. Very good. So right here, as you can see, we have a quick preview of our form. So from, to, and a bit of information here, fuel consumption, full price, etc. So now we're going to tweak this around. Okay, so let's have a quick preview. So let's open this in the front end. So this is what our page looks like physically. So if you were to type here, for instance, from London to, let's say, Leeds. Okay, very good. Now let's calculate. And there you go. By default, it's going to display all this information here with the mileage, how long it's going to take, how much fuel has been used, and the cost calculator. Underneath, we have a map and the complete route from point A to point B. So clearly, some of those information are not required. This is really up to you. You can display them if you want to. But let's say we wanted to get rid of this and keep only, for instance, the fuel consumption, the length, and maybe the driving time. We don't want to show maybe the fuel amount or something like this, and maybe get rid of this section here altogether and add maybe an intermediate point in between as well. So let's do this together. Let me show you how you can tweak this around to fit your own requirements. So we go back to our route planner here, and first we're going to take care of our form. So let's go back here again, just me show you. Okay, so this is the form here on top. This is what you fill out to get your information, and underneath, everything underneath is part of the results basically. Okay, so let's take care of the form like we said. So do you want to show the fuel calculator? Do you want to show maximum speed field limit? So let's say we don't want that for the time being. We don't want the fuel calculator. We get rid of that altogether, and then we have the results. So let's say we don't want the fuel amount. We get rid of this, and we remove the whole route here underneath. Okay, the full detail. So we go to results, and again, as you can see, we're going to remove fuel amount and the detailed route as well. So now we can generate the code again. There you go. So copy this, and now we go back to our Elementor page, remove this one and copy the new one. And as you can see, our form has changed completely. Now if we click update, we can go back to our front end. There you go. So now let's try again. So let's say from London to Leeds. Very good. Calculate. And as you can see, now we have only 3 bits of information, the map, and that's basically it. So that's much more simplified as well. Now, let's say if you wanted to add an intermediate route, let's say from London to Leeds via Birmingham, for instance, okay? So we can do that as well. So we go back to our cost calculator here, and we go to Form. And right here, we're going to enable Show Intermediate Points, okay? Now, let's enable this. Let's copy our shortcode. Let's go back here again, replace that one, apply, date, and let's go back to our front end. So let's try again from London to Leeds via Birmingham. There it is. Oops. Calculate. And that's it. As you can see from the map, we can go to London to Leeds via Birmingham. So this is how you can add an intermediate point as well. And now let me show you how you can replace this section here to say instead of fuel cost, maybe freight cost, delivery cost or something like this, you know, and have the actual cost that your customers will pay. So let me show you how to do this. So we go back to our cost calculator, and this time we go to results. And right here, as you can see, we have show customized cost. We're going to tick that box. We're going to do so. So the label, basically at the moment, it says fuel cost, and you might want to replace this with, for instance, delivery cost. Okay. And now we can insert our formula here. So how are you going to calculate this? We have a bit of help here. So if you right click on this, open a new tab, you can use any of those variables here. So you can use length, driving time, fuel consumption, fuel amount, fuel price, and fuel cost. So in our case, we're going to keep it simple, maybe the fuel amount. So if you use maybe 80 liters multiplied by a factor of 3 or 5 or 6 or whatever you want to charge. Maybe you want to driving time, maybe you charge per hour or per minute or something like this, you know, whichever way it is, basically use any of those variables. So we're going to use the fuel amount in our example here. So what we're going to do is basically take the fuel amount multiplied, so the star basically for multiplying, okay, and let's multiply that by maybe 7.5, let's say, okay, you charge maybe £7.50 per liter that you use or something like this, okay. Now we can generate the shortcode. Again, we're going to copy this and then paste it in our page. So let's click on our shortcode here again. So Control V, apply, update, and let's put this to the test. So again, we're going to go from London to Leeds via Birmingham. And let's calculate. And there you go. As you can see, this is going to cost our customer £222.50 altogether to go from London to Leeds via Birmingham. Very good. And now that we have our cost calculator sorted out and our page created, we can link that to all the call to action buttons on our homepage. So let's go back to our homepage. So remember, on the header section here, we had learn more, and then we have another one right here and so on. So we can replace this with the actual link to our page now. So if we go back here, as you can see, we have learn more. So click on it. So here we can change this. Instead of learn more, let's call this cost calculator. Would make sense, you know. So there you go. And now we need to add the link. So we go back to our cost calculator page. So copy the URL, Control C, and instead of the hashtag here, paste it there. Okay, so update. And then we can do the same with all the other call to action buttons on our page. So basically I've done that already. Now, as you can see, I have one here, cost calculator and cost calculator. Now let's go to the front end. Let's refresh. So this is what our website used to look like. Now if you refresh, there you go. Now we have a brand new website, as you can see, covering UK mainland, Wales and Scotland, and pallet delivery service. So cost calculator, if you click on this, it will go straight to our cost calculator page. Now let's create an additional page, a contact us page, which is very often required, you know, just to let people know where you're based, maybe your phone number, and maybe have an inquiry form as well. So we're going to take care of this, and then we'll change our header section and footer section as well. So we go back to WordPress dashboard now. Very good. So from here, we're going to go back to pages, and we have a contact page here. So we're going to edit this with Elementor. Right click on it, open in a new tab. And the reason why we're opening in a new tab is because we're going to have to create the form as well, the contact form, and we need WP forms for that. Okay, so let's go back here again. As you can see, the image is not really suitable, so we can change it with something else. So let's go and select a new image. We go to style, delete this one, plus, and let's upload the one we had initially, so insert. There you go, very good. And underneath, as you can see, we have contact details and the form. And as you can see, by default, we have your name, email address, and message. You might want to tweak this around into something else, So again, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. Like we said, we need to use WP form. So let's click on this. All the forms are here. So this is the actual contact form that we are using at the moment. So if you click on edit, and as you can see, this is a contact form, so all you need is your name, email, and your message. Maybe you want to turn this into a request, a quote form, So maybe you need the collection and delivery point. So how can you do so? Well, very easily. So instead of your message here, or you can keep your message as well, we can add 2 single line text. So just one here, drag and drop, and the same underneath, drag and drop. And right here, instead of single line text, you could have collection address. And here, delivery address. Okay, all you have to do then is click save. That's all. And now if we go back to our page and have a quick refresh, there you go. And as you can see, you have your name, email address, collection address, delivery address, and message as well. But now it doesn't look nice because we have the label here on top. It should be in the placeholder instead. So what we can do is go back to our form here. So let's click on the collection address. So we can just grab this, okay? Control C, advanced. We're going to put that in the placeholder. And we're going to tick this box here, enable this hide label, okay? And we do the same with the delivery. So Control C, advanced, placeholder, and then hide label. Now we can save. There you go. And now let's go back to our contact page. And as you can see, we have a very nice looking form, obviously, So instead of we're ready, let's talk, you could change this, maybe request a custom quote. And then you can change the content here. So all you have to do basically is click on this and type your address. You can do the same with your email address and so on and so on. So let me just show you this one here. So this is the social media links. So this is called social icons. A very nice widget, very easy to use. As you can see, you have Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Now, if you wanted to add Instagram, let's click on this. Select the icon. So type in Insta. There it is. Insert. And now you can type the link right here of your landing page, basically going to your Instagram account. And you can do the same with all the others, obviously, So this is how easily you can tweak this as well. And once you're done, don't forget to click update. And that's us done for the contact page. Very good. So now there's only a few things to take care of. As you can see on our home page, we need to change the logo, obviously, change our menu section, change the take action here again to link to our cost calculator. And obviously we have the footer section with some details as well. So let's take care of this now. So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. And from here, we go to appearance and then customize. And now if you hover on top, you can see I have a small pencil. If you click on this, we can then replace our logo. So we're going to delete this one. So remove and remove this one. So select an image, upload. So I created one very quickly, it's not a fancy logo, but it's just to show you how this works. Choose image, as you can see, your logo and the tagline underneath. And you can do as well the same for Retina display, so high resolution devices basically, okay? So you can have a low resolution, maybe for phones or desktop PCs, and if you have maybe MacBook Pros or high resolution screens, you can upload a higher resolution logo as well. So that's basically it for that. Now we have our call to action button right here. So let's change this to cost calculator, okay? And again, we can link this back here. So we're going to insert the link right here, just like that, and then publish. So that's basically it for our logo and our call to action button. Now let me show you how we can change the content of our menu sections. For this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard, appearance, menus. And obviously we only have 3 pages at the moment. Your pages will display right here. As you can see, you have cost calculator, contact, project, services, about. So all we need at the moment is homepage, contact us, and basically cost calculator, okay? So we're going to add this one here, add cost calculator, put that in between. And now we can delete about, services, and projects. So we're going to click bulk select. So I'm going to remove this one, and this one. Remove selected items. Save menu. There you go. And now if you go back to the front end and let's refresh. There you go. As you can see, we have our logo now, home, cost calculator, contact, and our call to action. So if you click on the contact page, as you can see, there it is. Very nice. And now we can go back to our home page, or we can go straight to the cost calculator. So the only thing left now is our footer section. So let's take care of this. Back to our WordPress dashboard. And this time we'll go to widgets. So you can collapse this. And as you can see, I have a section here called Footer Builder Widget 1. So this is the one. And there it is. So this is the address basically, you know. So now we can change this with our own content, your own address, your own email address. So maybe something like this, you know, 123 street name, London, phone number, and your email address. Don't forget to click update. And that's basically it. We're all done now. Now, would you like to know what's the easiest way to make money as a web designer? And I give you a clue, it's not by designing websites. If you want to find out, you can always watch this video here.